شروع میکنیم. ریکارد ما زدم. خب ما اگر چیز مشکل بود بازور ان شاء الله در ایدیت ما پاس میکنم.
درست.
Assalamu alaikum everyone. Good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are. Today I am with Hedayatullah Zaheb. If I'm pronouncing it right, Hedayatullah. Am I pronouncing it right, Hedayatullah Zaheb? He's a prominent, he's a prominent Afghan writer who has written books with the title of Satan Parliament, Afghanistan. Sorry, correct me if I'm wrong. What was the name of the book? Civilized.
The future civilization makers.
Afghans, the future civilization makers. Yeah.
Right.
Great. So he's a prominent Afghan writer, and today we're going to talk about with him, and we're going to discuss with him about the current situation of Afghanistan. Who is to blame? Who brought this situation to Afghans, and what is the solution? So just before going further, you already know me. I'm Mujib Rahman. I'm a YouTuber. I'm a digital marketer from Afghanistan. I tried my best to give a positive image of Afghanistan to the world. So let's start with asking the question, why Afghanistan, Hedayatullah? Why Afghanistan? Why are people so interested in interfering with our matters, with Afghanistan matters? What is so important about Afghanistan?
Well, it depends. First of all, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to everyone and to you. It's different for different time periods. For example, when the England Empire came to Afghanistan, it had different reasons. When the Soviets came, it had different reasons. When the USA came, it had different reasons. One of the most talked about reasons is that Afghanistan is located in a geostrategic location. But I think there are some other factors that people are interested. For example, when King Dawood, or maybe President Dawood, when he announced his progressive plans for Afghanistan, the Soviet was thinking if President Dawood progresses and Afghanistan progresses with his plans, and the neighboring countries in Middle Asian countries like Tajikistan, Uzbekistan, and they see that Afghanistan is progressing with a system that's not communism, then they will also like Afghanistan system, and they will not accept communism. That's why they attacked Afghanistan. In English, there were some other factors, but for Americans, I think the most prominent factors was to contain China and Russia, to attack Osama bin Laden, which I don't buy this, but this is the official narrative, to attack Osama bin Laden, because they even did not kill Osama bin Laden in Afghanistan, and he was not in Afghanistan. Also, the Taliban at that time told the US that if you want Osama bin Laden, we will give you, but give us proof that he did that. And I don't think he did that. He couldn't do that in 9/11. He didn't do that, but US was going to attack Afghanistan anyway. And right now, the most probable factor for USA was to get lithium and uranium out of Afghanistan. And he is planning to get, USA is planning to get uranium and lithium anyway.
Wow, great insight. So you mean that even there are great commanders, U.S. commanders, they said that we have achieved our goals in Afghanistan. They killed bin Laden in 2011. So why didn't they leave Afghanistan back then? Why did they continue to stay in Afghanistan till 2021?
Well, they didn't achieve their goals, and their goal was not clear anyway, because if their goal was to kill Osama bin Laden, he was killed in, apparently. We can't believe that he was killed that night, but still, he was killed in Pakistan, not in Afghanistan. And also the Taliban, which they were trying to destroy, they are now the rulers of Afghanistan. So what goals they have achieved, I don't know.
Yeah, great. So let's talk about Taliban. Who are the Taliban?
Well, it's different. Taliban are two types of people. One Taliban at the leadership and one Taliban at the lower order. The lower order Talibans are mostly the victims of previous governments, the American installed government. But in the top level, we don't know who are Taliban exactly, because we don't know their leader. They are so mysterious. Sometimes some of their leaders were previous prisoners. Some we still don't know. For example, we still don't know who exactly was Mullah Muhammad Omar, the previous leader, and who exactly is Mullah Hedayatullah Mansour. We don't know him.
Okay, you mean there is no clear background history on them? Like, if you can go back where did they came from, there is no background. I can see your beautiful son, mashallah, there. What's his name?
Thank you.
Don't worry. Okay, so there is no clear background history of the leaders of the Taliban, you mean? So if anybody wants to do a background check, there is no clear history. Wow, they are the ghosts. Okay, and moving forward, what do you think? Were people of Afghanistan happy with the previous government?
Well, still the people of Afghanistan, sorry.
No worries, take your time. I have my kids back here. It's so noisy.
The people of Afghanistan, every government, every order has two types of people. One, the beneficiaries, the second is the victims. And now, if you are asking me, were people happy with the previous governments? It depends on who are you asking, the beneficiaries or the victims.
Yeah.
The beneficiaries were happy, obviously, but the victims were not happy. Mostly the beneficiaries of previous government was the people in urban areas. They were getting the high salaries, they were getting projects, they were getting many benefits. But people in rural areas, they were victims.
Yeah.
We didn't do any progressive projects for them. We didn't build any infrastructures for them. We even did not give them public services in the rural areas. So they were not happy, but extremely dissatisfied with previous governments, the rural people.
Okay, what were you? Were you the victim or you were the beneficiary?
I think I was the beneficiary of previous governments, but still I was not supporting them because I was traveling around Afghanistan, and I have a village background. I'm from Logar province, and I was watching that my people were killed in the name of Talib, in the name of government forces, in the name of police, in the name of national forces, but still not the Taliban and not the government forces were getting any benefits in the villages where I lived. So I was the beneficiary, obviously, because in the time of previous governments, after the 2001, I went to India to study. That was the benefit I got. Business, that was the benefit I got. But still, the people in villages and remote areas, they were victims, and the victims were more than the beneficiaries. That's why the government collapsed.
Yeah, great. I know that if it's right, you founded a food startup, right, by the name of Tandoori Pizza. Do you own that?
I don't own that, but my friends owns that, and I was helping him somehow, like a shareholder or something.
Okay, great. Okay, so the important question is, now we have Taliban in Afghanistan. So do you think, should people trust Do you trust them? Should people, ordinary people, and you, including you, because you're also living in Afghanistan, should people trust them?
I don't think we should trust them. And I don't think we should distrust them.
Okay.
We should be cautiously optimistic about them, because till now it's almost a week when they came from the time they came to Kabul. We don't see any problem with them. They don't do any wrong things, and they are supportive with the people. So I don't know what future brings. Nobody knows. You don't know. Not even Taliban themselves know. But still, I am cautiously optimistic.
Yeah, speaking of the problems, what do you think, what caused the chaos at the airport? Was it the Taliban or the ordinary people trying to leave for the Western countries?
I think the problem or the chaos in the Kabul airport is the responsibility goes to USA. They call people, they send them some papers, and in the first day, they allowed some people to enter the airport without any documents. So the people called their friends, their relatives, that they are giving free pass to everyone. And I don't think it was accidental, it was planned. And they wanted the chaos and this chaos in the Kabul airport, so the whole media can show how bad situation in Afghanistan after US is. That was the plan, and still US is continuing this chaos in Kabul airport, and the responsibility is totally lies in the hands of US government.
Obviously, it makes no sense because the government of Biden, they had ultimate resources in order to evacuate people while they were in peace. I have, yeah, I and my family members, they also have worked with the US government, and we have these SIV cases. But it took us like more than years to just process the documentation. But they could evacuate these people who were the allies of the US very quickly from Afghanistan, but they decided to wait till the end of the line. Though there were great generals of the US that they forecasted that the same thing can happen, and they warned Joe Biden, but he didn't listen. So yeah, it totally makes sense. Moving forward, what should the world know about America? Are they hypocrites? Are they behind the creation of Taliban? Are they making all of these things up? Like, are they hypocrites? What do you want to tell the world about them?
Hypocrites.
Okay.
The biggest terrorist government in the world is USA. They are killing people everywhere, including in Afghanistan. I don't know if Taliban was the creation of US or a natural creation of people. I don't have any proof.
Okay.
But let me tell you, after the USA came in Afghanistan, Taliban completely disappeared from 2001 until 2005. You could go anywhere in Afghanistan without any problem. But what USA did, they went to people's house, they raided people's house, they disrespected people's culture, and after that, people were becoming against the US. And I don't think that was also incidental. That was deliberately done. Karzai was warning them to not go to people's house, to not operate in the villages, to not respect people's culture. But they did not listen, and they knew that that this will happen because they didn't want a good government in Afghanistan, and they still don't want a good government in Afghanistan. Even if Taliban creates a good government, they will oppose them.
Okay, great. So the US claims that they have spent trillions of dollars in Afghanistan. Do you think the money came in Afghanistan, all of them? How was the money spent in Afghanistan?
Okay, let me tell you a story of myself. In 2008, when I came to Afghanistan for my practice, I was studying engineering, so I came to do my practical work in Afghanistan for 2 months. I went to the Luz Barjar group that was responsible for building the Afghanistan highways. Okay. Luz Barjar was the prime contractor for building huge highways in Afghanistan. In the Luz Barjar, most of the top management with high salaries were Americans themselves. So, for example, if there was a salary split, 80% of the money coming to the Luz Barjar was going to the American salary first. The second, Luz Barjar was not building the roads themselves. Like Luz Barjar was getting 5 million USD for 1 kilometer, and they were subcontracting them to an Afghan company for example, 800,000. 4.2 million profit which they were making were directly going from one account in the United States to another account in the United States. This is a bogus claim that they are saying that we have spent billions of dollars. Maybe trillions, sorry. Maybe some billions they have spent it, but still what they are saying is completely wrong. And after the projects finished, they took lots of money in the SIP. For example, from my friends who are CEOs of big construction companies, they all are living in USA right now and buying huge houses. Because after they finished the business with United States government, they were provided with easy visa by the name of SIV to USA. And Americans knew that they will bring all their money back to USA. So in a nutshell, they spent nothing in Afghanistan.
So basically you're trying to say that they channeled back the money back to the USA, and it happened. Yeah, it happened the same with Iraq. So there were huge defense contractor companies like Floor, like Tetra Tech, I think, Floor, Mantech, Mantech, Floor. These are the big defense US companies that are contractors. They go to a country, they provide all the ammunition, all the heavy military equipment, and they are the ones that take back the money with themselves. It happened the same with Iraq. Yeah, totally agree with you on that.
You're saying they came in Afghanistan also, like Floor was the biggest US Army contractor, the Corp was the biggest US Army contractor, and they were all American companies. They were getting billions of projects, and the money was going from Washington to LA, from Washington to California, and all in the name of Afghan. Even the World Bank projects, they were choosing the contractors. They were saying what projects we want, not what projects Afghans want. And the money was coming in the name of Afghan, but spend it in the interest of foreign countries, especially United States.
Yeah, of course. And also the corrupt government that we had, most of the money they used to hoard themselves, like the government officials. So
because the United States installed the corrupt policy and corrupt people. When they came, they gave money to the corrupt people because they knew after we will leave, the corrupt people will follow us, and they are following them right now. Lots of them are living in USA, and all the money USA gave them is still in USA, but in the hand of some corrupt people.
Yeah. So in the history, if somebody in the future, if they read the history books or if they watch YouTube channels and they see that the biggest military operation in the world, NATO, United States and their allies, they came in a small country and they couldn't defeat a small group of people. I think according to Joe Biden, they were like 85,000 Taliban soldiers. But on the contrary, there were huge, big numbers of these biggest military operation. How couldn't they defeat these small numbers? What was the reason?
Uh, I don't think they couldn't defeat militarily, because militarily Taliban are nothing in comparison to USA. But what they couldn't defeat was Afghanistan's culture, Afghanistan people's feeling for freedom. We Afghans, we are kind of different people. We can accept your money, we can work with you, but in the end we will beat you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even people who work with US Army and they call them their allies, they hated them. And they still hate them.
Okay.
Even people with SIV visas hate USA. I'm telling you.
Did you ever work with the US government?
Yeah, I did work with them until for 1 or 2 years. Then I saw what they were doing, and what they were doing to my people and my government. Then I stopped working with them, and they told me that you can go to USA. I told them I will never live. I will live in any country but USA.
Okay, great. So it means that even if they come to your house with a visa, you're not going. Okay. Just a very important question, Hidayatullah, very important, because you have studied Islam. I've studied and researched Islam for 9 years now, and every day I learn something beautiful about this religion. So do you really think that Taliban represent Islam? Do you really think that they implement the Sharia law?
Even if they want to implement the Sharia law under this condition, they cannot. For example, they are saying that we want to be part of global financial institutions like IMF and World Bank. We want to be part of the monetary system. We want to be part of the United Nations. This whole financial system is based on interest. And interest and usury is the biggest thing in Islam. So if you can be part of this system and you are going to involve or embed your financial system with interest and usury, how can you claim you can bring Islamic law into the land? That's not possible. I don't think they can, and I don't think they will. From what I see, that they are telling every day that we want to be recognized by United Nations, we want to have cooperation with financial institutions. They cannot bring an Islamic government. Maybe some Islamic rulings they will bring, but until this, you are part of this financial Ponzi scheme, financial institutions, you cannot have an Islamic financial system. And if your financial system is not Islamic, what can be Islamic?
Yeah, apart from the financial stuff, what do you think other perspective of life, such as the treating women? Because, according to the Sunnah of the Prophet, according to all of the narration, there was not a single time that somebody was beaten at the time of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, just because of their beard, not wearing niqab, and all this stuff. They were not beaten. They were not treated harsh. So what do you think, according to Taliban, will they implement these stuff which is not totally Islamic? Like, this is out of Islam totally. Do you think will they implement all these by the name of Islam?
Well, they did some mistakes, not some mistake, lots of mistakes, because I remember last time when they came to Afghanistan, I was living in Kabul. I remember every single thing they did. And the day before yesterday, they came here, and I met one of their commanders. he told me that he was also a commander in the last period, before 2001. And he told me that we were wrong in these things you mentioned, like beating women, forcing people to have beards and all, and wear what for men, like wear Afghani dresses. He told me that we were wrong and we will not impose. Right now, I am coming from the city and I wear t-shirt and jeans.
Okay,
And
great.
nobody told me that why you are wearing this. So I don't think they will implement those policies, but still I cannot guarantee. Things can change in Afghanistan very quickly, but I am optimistic that they will not impose on people in the name of Islam what is not Islamic.
Yeah, exactly. Because we don't know, because as you mentioned, their leaders are unknown people. We don't know them. How can we trust them at the beginning? So it is better to have a caution with them rather than trusting them completely. So
Exactly.
what is your take on them? Or will you be on their side, or what do you characterize yourself? Like
Yeah. I don't think I'll be on their side. Eh, I love my people, I love my country, and I will continue to work for my people and for my country and for the whole humanity. I don't hate anyone, not even people are talking about Pakistan. I know Pakistani government did lots of bad things to us,
yes,
but I love Pakistani people, not
yes,
Pakistan's government.
yes.
I love ordinary people around the world. If Taliban are working for the benefit of people, I will definitely contribute with those projects that benefit people. But I will never ideologically join Taliban, and I have never joined previous government. I didn't even work with them from 2014. Excuse me, from 2014 till now, I am officially jobless
Okay.
because I didn't want to work in that government. Although I could get good jobs with that government, I didn't because of some problem I had with the corruption. And even if Taliban continues to have those corruption, I will work in this country, but not with the Taliban government if these people have those corruptions.
Okay. Will there ever be peace in Afghanistan? What do you think?
Obviously, there will be peace. Uh, every nation, every people have suffered times of war worse than us until they wake up. They wake up like literally wake up from the sleep they they have been brought to or they were sleeping. So when we wake up and recognize who is our enemy and who is our friends, we will definitely have peace. And I don't think it will take long.
Yeah. So do you consider the U.S. government as the hypocrites? Do you consider Taliban hypocrites because they are the ones that they have a friendship with China now? China is a country where they executed many Muslims, Uyghur Muslims, and yeah, China, they're going to have a friendship with China. Do you think that is a proper way of dealing with countries which are against the Muslim Brotherhood and all this stuff?
Well, I don't think that friendship will be a problem or a sign of hypocrisy. But it remains to be seen what kind of friendship they will have. Nothing is clear. Like we must have friendship or relationship with the world, with China, with USA, with the United Kingdom, even with the worst countries. But the important point is what kind of friendship do we have? If we have a friendship like supporting everything they do, that's not a friendship that Islam wants.
Yes.
We can have bilateral agreements, trade agreements, any kind of agreements with China, with India, with Pakistan, with USA. But the content of that agreement is important. And we have to wait what kind of content these friendships and these agreements have, and then we can decide and we can judge as Taliban what they are, or they are telling lies to our people.
Yeah, the only reason that I mentioned the word hypocrite is because they are hurting Muslims on the one hand, and on the other hand, they're seeking their friendship. It is the same way as the Israel-Palestine relationship. Like the UAE is giving a hand of friendship to Israel. So the same situation is happening in here. I think that's a bit hypocritical.
Well, we have to differentiate between the ideologies. One is Pan-Islamic ideology, like which is the original Islamic ideology. Like we are Muslims and we are brothers, and we have your enemy is my enemy, and my enemy is your enemy. This is the Pan-Islamic ideology. Taliban never claimed to have Pan-Islamic ideology. Their Islamic view is for Afghanistan only. They never said we want to bring Islamic government to Tajikistan, to Pakistan, to UAE. To their concern is with Afghanistan only. So with this ideology, you cannot expect them to say to China, stop this, and otherwise we will attack you.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But what Islamic groups or ideological groups like Hizb ut-Tahrir or Muslim Brotherhoods, they are thinking they are above national boundaries. So everything in the Muslim world is their cancer. But for Taliban, nothing outside Afghanistan is their cancer. They can like say, oh, we are sorry, we condemn this, we can, even UAE and even Turkey is doing that. But if you're a nationalistic Islamic group, you cannot interfere in other countries' affairs. And Taliban is, right until now, they are a nationalistic Islamic group.
Yeah, so based on that criteria, is it correct to say that the Taliban are more focused on the Pashtun nationalism rather than Islam? Is it correct to say this statement?
I don't think they are right now. I don't see any. In the previous government they had before 2001, it was totally Pashtunism. I agree with that. But right now they have what they are saying, that we want a government which represents every tribe and every part of the country. And I have seen some, not one, but lots of Talibans which are not Pashtun. So right now, it still remains to be seen. But I don't see sign of Pashtunism in Taliban in past week. It has been a week. We cannot judge a system or a government in a week. So we have to wait for some days and see if they are bringing the Pashtunism back or then Afghan nationalism, because Afghanistan is a huge country consisting many tribes, you know that.
Yeah.
And they are telling that we will represent all these tribes, all these castes. So if they are doing that, I don't think they can or they should represent Pashtunism. If they represent one tribe in Afghanistan, there again will be civil war.
Okay, yeah, that's what we are afraid of, the civil war, because only the ordinary people will be affected by it. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, so we are the ordinary people. We have always been affected with the decisions that the superpowers make. We had the Soviet Union, we had the Mughals who came to Afghanistan, and all of the other great empires that they came. So at the end of the day, only Afghans have lost their lives, and that's really sad. Yeah. So I hope, yeah.
Who killed the empires? and we killed ourselves with it too.
Yeah, yeah. So we didn't take any benefit for that. So that's sad. And I forgot the question. It was really interesting because you were talking really nice, and I forgot that question. So maybe we can leave this for a second part, maybe. But I think it's enough for today. It was really nice to talk with you, Hidayatullah. And yeah, just for the final thought, what do you think? What are your plans with this government, with the Talibani government? What are your plans? Are you going to have any business, or you said that you are jobless? How is the plan to earn your day-to-day income with this government?
Well, from the start of this year, I have been working with a Turkish company as a consultant.
Okay.
So I will continue that job until it is available. But with Taliban government, I will wait. What kind of government they will make? Uh, what will be the governmental people that will be working with them? And how can this government benefit the ordinary people, not just the city people? For example, if you see the media, they only show cities in Afghanistan. We have to focus on people who are the victims for century, not for even previous government, for century. Even in the time of communism, Dr. Najibullah, the people in villages and rural areas were victim. In the time of post 9/11 governments, villagers and remote area people were victims. And if in this government they are victim, I will again work with the people to get them some benefits. Like I will write books, I will write articles, anything that I can benefit the people with.
Yeah, out of your written books, did you generate any income out of your books?
No, I have spent it actually a lot of money on them, and I don't expect any income from my books because in Afghanistan, uh, people who read books they are poor, and people who are rich they don't read books.
They don't read books. Yeah, that's how it works. Like, okay, I remember my question. This is a very important question. Nowadays, I'm seeing on YouTube many popular Muslim YouTube channels. They are uploading the pictures of the Taliban with the titles given to them that, oh, the people that will help Imam Mahdi have arrived. And also they're relating Taliban with the popular hadith, which is about the army of Khurasan. There was a group of people with the black flags that will help Imam Mahdi, and they will help him from Khurasan, which is a part of Afghanistan. It used to be a great part of the greater Persia. So, what do you think? Because since they don't represent Islam properly, do you think it is proper to claim that these are the same people that are helping Imam Mahdi? I don't think so personally, because I believe the people who will help Imam Mahdi will be people like you, ordinary people, practicing Muslims. Because the greatest jihad, according to Prophet Muhammad, is jihad against your own nafs, your own self, in order to make yourself right, and then fighting against the oppressors. So I don't believe that. What are your thoughts about that? Are they really the people that are helping Imam Mahdi?
First of all, in that hadith, it says that the flag of those people will be black and the
Yeah.
flag of Taliban is white.
Why?
So there is no resemblance. And there is another narration, which I don't remember the Arabic part of it, that says that people of Afghanistan will want their rights and they will not be given. The people of Khurasan, which Afghanistan is the center of it, they will want their rights and they will not be given. They will again want it and they will not be given until people will give them their rights, but they will not accept it and they will start their march toward Jerusalem and Middle East. So I don't think Taliban is that group. I didn't deny if Imam Mahdi comes in a few years that some of the Taliban people will join that group, but the actual group named Taliban is not that group. I don't think so.
Yeah, great. Thank you so much, Hedayatullah. It was really interesting and very great to have you here on this podcast with me. I'm sure we're gonna have some requests for the second part of this, and I would love to have you on a second part of this based on the request of our audience. And we made a lot of things clear about Afghanistan. A lot of people had questions that what is happening in Afghanistan. They were worried that why our people are falling from the planes. Is it because of the Taliban, or they have the desire to move to West? So there has been a lot of clarifications by this call and this podcast. I really thank you very much from my heart. And if you have any final thoughts or messages, you can share, and then we can end this podcast. And I will upload it on YouTube.
Well, I have one message to all people who are reaching my people, like you.
Yes.
When you're reaching, don't say negative things a lot.
Yes.
We are not in that bad situation right now, which we are dying every day or like this. We are better off, and we will be better off. If you can't help us, just don't spread negative thoughts in our minds. That's my final message.
Yeah, if you can't share a positive message, what is the need for spreading the negativity around? So this directly affects the morale of the people in Afghanistan. And I just wanted to end up with the one sentence that you said. There were people from Afghanistan were spreading hashtags sanction Pakistan, sanction Pakistan. I didn't use that hashtag because the doctor that my my kid is visiting to see her eyes is a Pakistani doctor, and just because of that, I couldn't use that, because who are we sanctioning? Are we sanctioning the people or the government? So it is really tough.
Yeah, I don't actually agree with the sanction with any government. Economy and people's hunger should not be used as a weapon, not by any Muslim at least.
Yeah.
America is doing because America is a terrorist country, but we should not use economy as a weapon.
As a weapon, yeah, that's a greatly said. And thank you so much, Hedayatullah. Thank you for your time, and hopefully we can meet again.
Thank you very much. It was nice speaking with you.
Yeah, great.